My name is Hallie Cole, and today I am talking about how times are changing. To start, I'll point out the most obvious change. About a month ago, we had just finished half of the spring semester, and we were all heading out on spring break. We were going on vacations, going home, or staying in Lawrence and just relaxing. Then the coronavirus hit, and the rest of the semester was completely changed for us almost overnight. Now that that scene is set, let's go way back to the 1980s. Many of our parents were in college during the 1980s, like we are today, so I felt like this was a good way to show some of the big changes and to show it is very different for us today. For starters, the average tuition of a public in-state college was $2,550, including fees and housing. With inflation, that's just under $8,000. Tuition at a private college was just under $6,000, and with inflation, that is around $17,000. The average cost to attend a public in-state college today is around $10,000, and the average tuition of a private college is upwards of $35,000. As you can see, that is a huge difference. Drinking ages were also different, even depending on state and gender. There was no set national drinking age until 1984 when President Ronald Reagan signed the National Minimum Age Drinking Act. Views on this are very split. Some people argue that if you're old enough to go to war, you're old enough to drink. Others argue that 21 is safer and the better choice. And there are also many that say 18 was just fine and that there wasn't as big of a push to drink underage as there is today. At many schools in the 80s, Greek life was the thing to be in, and it could make or break a lot of college experiences. Today, both the drinking age and Greek life is very different. There is a nationwide drinking age of 21, and Greek life is on the decline. Another thing that is drastically different that I think we can all relate to right now is that we are attending college online during a global pandemic. Now, I'm not saying there weren't any types of outbreaks or diseases in the 80s, because there were, and they were scary. We're very lucky today to have vaccines, but in the 80s, doctors did not yet know that booster shots were needed. In 81 to about 91, there was a second measles outbreak in the US. Because of that, doctors began recommending booster shots, and today there are less than 1,000 cases a year. The other big outbreak, or discovery really, in the 80s was HIV and AIDS. It started in 81. But we now know, as HIV first appeared to be a rare lung infection, and AIDS is the final stage of that. Today we still do not have a cure, but there are safety precautions people can take, and new medications are being developed. With all of that being said, I think that what we are living through right now is a little, or if not a lot, different than what our parents lived through in the 80s. For starters, we're doing school online, and they didn't even have computers then. When HIV and AIDS were discovered, they didn't shut down schools and every non-essential business, like with what is happening now and over the past month or so. So next time one of your parents say, "Well, I walked to school up hills both ways," you can say, "I'm in college during a global pandemic and nobody has any idea what's going on."